Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the longest running show on earth, the Mark and Pires Show. Live 1,672 days in a row. We're here again. It's Sunday night. And I think we're going to play a little music like we do every night. Tomorrow at noon, we have a piece of content being dropped on YouTube. I hope you guys will join right at noon. This is going to be a crazy comedy just like the last. The last one, of course, was Scammer Payback, where I was the scammer, and I got completely demolished by Pierogi from the channel Scammer Payback. Of course, that's a parody. I played all the parts, and we have the same thing coming tomorrow. Channel Sabadoos Mark Pires sneaks into a UFO hangar. That's the story. Join us at noon, and you'll see how that went. Joanne. You know, Joanne did her best. And by best, I mean she's just loud and obnoxious with the wheeze, you know. The military came in. It wasn't too long before they arrived, you know. They could feel the tremors. What's that, Joanne? No, Joanne, I mean, look, that's on you. You know, that's on you. If you didn't have such a disgustingly loud wheeze that vibrates, you know, local districts. Get a call from Ron, you know, EMA, Emergency Management Associates. He was like, look, we got a tremor in the vicinity. I think we have this is a Richter scale event. Ron, no, it's just me here. I'm at the UFO, you know, hangar with Joanne. Of course. That's what Ron said. Anyway, guys, tomorrow noon, hope you'll join me for that comedy, and you get to hear a little bit more from Joanne. I'll give you a little teaser. You've heard Joanne's wheeze in the last bit, Scammer Payback. This time you get to hear Joanne's voice and the wheeze. So, 12 o'clock. The link is pinned here on YouTube, so please do me a favor. Head over there right now, hit the bell so it reminds you right before, about a half hour before, you'll get a notification that the comedy's about to go live. It's only 8 minutes long, guys. It's perfect time of day, right at noon. You take a break, grab a nice sandwich, and sit down and watch this silly comedy from a UFO hangar. Let's tune this pup while we're getting to the end of Something to Live For.
Give me more, hey. So many perfect ways to spend your days. It hit me. Oh wow, there's something to live for. There's something to die for. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's something to live for. There's something to die for. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's something to live for.
Matt Zabrosk. What? Oh, he wants me to throw it to him. Here you go, bud.
Woohoo!
Pretty solid. You know, I got to tell you, you drink 6 Yoo-Hoos and you come out and do a woo-hoo, your name might be Matt Zabroski. So laid back. Oh, Wage in the house, my brother. You know, it's too mellow. It's too mellow. Especially with Wage, my brother Wage is in the house. We can't go and it's a smooth jazz night, but gotta do something cooler than that for my brother Wage. So let's see what else we can come up with. Attempt number 2. Let's see if that gives me a little more sound here. Start up just a doubt. Get the good vibes moving around. Yeah. Throw a pick. Sometimes you throw a pick. And it's just good timing. So last night we played a little something. Oh, my brother Wage, thank you so much for kicking it, bud. Tomorrow at noon, I hope Wage can make it. If anybody else can make it tomorrow, remember UFO Files. I'm there at a UFO hangar. I snuck in. Sneaking in. Did a sneakeroo. And I got in with Joanne. I wonder if I could play you a moment of it, just so you see. So you can get excited. You know, what's it going to be about, Mark? Well, let's see. Maybe I can play on my end because I'm the guy. You know, it's my channel. Let's see. We're going to find out in a second here. If that's the case, then we're doing it. We're going to just run a couple minutes just so you can see what's going to be played for you tomorrow. Sometimes it won't let you do it. But remember, Scammer Payback just came out. That was just a couple days ago, and I'm sure Wages knows who Scammer Payback is. That guy Pierogi, I love him. Really, really cool what he does. And I did a parody of what he does, and I'm the scammer. I think it's one of the funniest things. But anyway, let's see if this plays. Oh, it will let me play. All right, so let's try this. I'm going to let you guys see a moment of this, okay? This is a sneak peek because tomorrow this is playing at noon. Here we go. Make sure you head over to the Mark Inspires YouTube channel and hit the bell. Leave a comment, share. This is what you are going to see. Where are we? Here we go. Welcome to the longest running daily show on Earth. The Mark Inspire Show. We're here. UFO hangar. And I got Joanne back there. She's trying to break into one of the UFOs. See if we can reverse engineer it. Channel 7 News, Mark Pires. We were watching David Grush, and he's giving all the information, Congress, about the UAPs. And I said, you know what? I think I know exactly where those UFOs are. He goes, I know exactly where those locations are. And I read his mind. Channel 7 News, Mark Pires has the ability to read minds. And I read David Grush's mind in that moment where one of these locations was. And, right? I mean, I could have been in a warehouse that was empty right now. But guys, Channel 7 News, we're on the lookout. We're looking for some UFOs. But I found the UFOs! What's that, Joanne? Joanne, stop wheezing! We're here trying to do a show. Trying to do a monologue. UAP. Guys, when you are about to jump into a UFO for the first time and reverse engineer it, That's a moment in time, I'll say. Of course, I do have Joanne here, which is a negative, as we all know, but it's part of the process. We are here 1,669 days in a row, and I give you the inside scoop. Yeah, is a UAP? UFO? What do we call it these days? A non-human entity. Oh, an NHE? Non-human entity. You know what? They just keep coming up names to distract us from looking at the ball. Where's the ball? Which ball is it? Smacked in the friggin' face with the ball. You know, that's the plan with the UFOs. But I found them. I'm thinking about calling our main, Channel 7 News, the one out of New York, and see if they want to run the broadcast live on Channel 7 News New York. Because, we're just in Connecticut and Piscataquis, and when you're in Piscataquis, you got a big range of people watching, but not the whole world. New York City, New York, they get the whole world there, Channel 7 News. But look, I'm gonna just broadcast here. I'll do an intro, I'll do an outro. We'll send it over to them and see if they wanna cut it and throw it on the 5 o'clock tomorrow, yeah. Anyway, Joanne, did you secure the area before we came in? I don't want to have any issues with military coming in and saying, what are you doing in here? Bang, biggity, boo. They're shooting down Mark Pires, Channel 7 News. What's that, Joanne? Yeah, you too, Joanne, but nobody freaking cares about you. But Channel 7 News, Piscataquis, I'm there, I'm doing it. But look, this is the story of the century right here. UAP, UFO, non-human entity. We got it all. Oh, hold on, Joanne! Joanne just reminded me that Matt Zabrowski took the trip here to the UFO hangar. Zabrowski! When you come down to the UFO story, and you got Matt Zabrowski giving you woo-hoo, that's the night. We're just on our way in and out, ghost-like. They don't even know we came, except for the wheeze. I think they could tell on radar when we were getting closer because of Joanne's wheeze. Anyway, Joanne, I'm just going to do an outro real quick so we can send this on to Channel 7 News New York. And remember, keep the wheeze down during this outro. Thanks. It's a blustery night here, and, I can't give away the location, Mark Pires, Channel 7 News, and we got UAPs, we've got UFOs, we got Joanne wheezing. All of it here. We're going to broadcast this live on satellite to the stars, because we need to make sure people know that we know, because Mark Pires, Channel 7 News, came down and did a report for us about the UFO. Joanne, are you any closer to getting into that UFO? So we could do a reverse engineer? I want to be the first Channel 7 News reporter to reverse engineer a UFO. Yeah, that's something that goes in the record books. When people come into the building, the Channel 7 News Piscataquis building in 50 years, and they're walking down the hallways of Piscataquis, and they're like, look at that right there, it's Mark Pires, Channel 7 News. That was before he walked on the moon. You gotta tune in tomorrow. We'll watch the rest tomorrow. Oh my goodness. We have liberty and freedom. Thank you so much for the donation. You are awesome. Goodness, you guys are great. Wellen in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Holy cow. Oh my goodness, Wellen. Hey Mark, bought a CD from 2002 while thrifting a couple days ago, just titled Reservoir. Had some with your name on there, and I was curious if that was you. The tracks were pretty killer. Wellen, that is pretty cool you found that. I have a few copies of that around here. That's my first album ever. That was when we were called Reservoir, because my bandmates didn't want my name in the title, even though I was writing every song, and continue to. But at the time, I was a young singer-songwriter playing with a couple of guys that played many years more than me. And they were like, we need to be a band. We need to have a band name. And so I came up with the name Reservoir because I felt like I was creating a reservoir of music. And I loved this reservoir that was nearby my house. I used to drive by. I wrote about maybe 10 or 12 songs there. It was a beautiful reservoir. I was all by myself. And the coolest thing about this is you'd come down you come around this mountainside. And as you get to the water, there's this bridge, but it's like, you drive through the water, really, and there's water on both sides, and you're just driving. And then there's this little peninsula that I used to go out there with my guitar and sit there with a pad, and I'd write songs. So I was like, the name of the band is Reservoir, the Reservoir. And so, yeah, that's my first album ever. There's a pretty cool story about that album, too. So when I recorded that album, it was all done live in the moment. And just like we do here, but it wasn't, the songs weren't live in the moment. I'd already written the songs, but our performances were always live in the moment. There was no tracking. Like every album, when they go do a real album, you start with the drums, then you go with the bass, and you go with all these things. My Something to Live For album, that album was tracked. So it started with me singing and playing just to get the vibe to a metronome. I sang the song, the length of the song, for 4 minutes and 44 seconds or whatever it is that Something to Live For is. And then the engineer takes that and he has Matt Zabrowski come in and tear it up on the drums. And then we start with that. We add bass lines, piano, my vocals come in after, and the guitars go in the mix. And all of a sudden now you have a real studio production. What we did for the Carriage House recordings, which is what Welland's talking about there, is I won a battle of the bands with these two musicians at the Reservoir at a place. They did this battle of the bands for 25 bands. We had never played on a stage before. There's video of this somewhere. I don't know where, but we'd never played on a stage before. And we'd played at this coffee shop, and my drummer never had a drum kit. It was always in this little djembe. He was playing a djembe, trying to play his drum kit beats on a freaking single drum. I realize now how silly that is when I have the BeatSeat. But Dave was playing this djembe, and he was basically, while he's playing djembe, he must have been coming up with these crazy drum beats for all these songs that I was writing. Because when we played this festival, this Battle of the Bands, I never heard anything. I never heard drums behind my music before. So when I heard my song Whisper, which is this song right here, when I heard this with a drummer behind me, this is what he gave me. I was like, what? But he's the nastiest drummer, so he was like doing all these fills too. He was like, I was like, what the? Like crazy to me to hear all this depth in my music I'd never heard before. I was always just singing and playing guitar. And then the djembe was like, oh, cool, I got a bass and a djembe. That's pretty sweet. But then before you know it, we're sitting on the stage in front of a crowd of people. I never played in front of a crowd that big. And I had my guitar, not that one, but an acoustic guitar and my mandolin. I used to play mandolin like all the time, and I broke my mandolin, so I don't have one right now. But I wrote about 2 or 3 songs with the mandolin. One of them is called Mandolin Jam, and that's the song we played at the Battle of the Bands. So we played Whisper, You, which is this song. So I walk along this road, this path that you have made. And though the fall was settling, the wind began to rain. Reflecting thoughts of innocence, no reason to complain. So maybe things will open up, sleep in peace, the thoughts of me and you. And this love will guide us through the nights. Our hearts' love burns, deeper love and deeper love. My heart seems to grow when I'm with you. All my troubles seem outline something new. And maybe things will open up. We'll sleep in peace, the thoughts of me and you. Oh, when this time we'll sit alone, the candlelight, the wax drops drop, burn our love that binds us down. The wind blows, the wild chill when you're around. Love's the very word when I'm with you. With you, yeah. With you. So that's the song. Fishman in the house. So we played Whisper. And just so you know, there's like some crazy, crazy stuff for that song. Like this, just so you hear the vibe when you add the BeatSeat, it goes. Just so you hear, like, the bass line was like, if I can remember what Jay used to do, it was like. I don't remember what he used to do. It's on the album. You gotta go listen to it. You gotta listen to it. Let me try to do it again. And then you got a freaking drummer coming in like that. And you start hearing this in the background, you're like, what? Simpler than that, though, really. And he's like rocking this really simple thing in the background. I'm just like, what the? So bottom line is, rocked out that tune. I danced all over the stage. When Mandolin Jam came out, there's pictures somewhere too. When I took the mandolin out, and same thing when I heard this, he was playing like this like non-stop beat, and I'm like rocking out on the mandolin. It was so nuts. Crazy. And so I basically I guess I just went through the roof with energy, and we just played the songs as best as they could be played in the moment, and we won the competition. And then we took it to Carriage House Studios, which I'm trying to get back to. I should have a long side, story, but we had 2 days in the studio, and they wanted me to do a demo. So they're like, look, pick 2 songs, and we're gonna kill those songs. Like, we'll start from beginning, go all the way through. We'll track it, start with just this, that. All of a sudden, we have 2 really great songs for you to go out and try to pitch to a record label. And I go, if I got 2 days in the studio, then we're putting an album together. And they're like, what? No, you can't. I said, yeah, we're going to do the album the first day. The second day will be the edit. And the guy's looking at me like I'm nuts. I've never been to a studio in my life before. This is the first time. So he's like, you don't know anything about anything, and you're telling me you're going to do a whole album in a day, and then you're going to edit in a day. Okay. And so we went into the studio, and while we were setting up, I started playing, and we all started jamming on it. It's called a song called Free. I wrote it years and years ago. It's one of the first songs I ever wrote. It's this really simple song. It goes, freaking hell. I wanna be free. Yeah, yeah. Wanna be free. Yeah, yeah. That's the vibe. I haven't played it in 25 years, but that's the vibe, right? And so we're sitting there and we rocked that song out the best. I mean, literally, it was the best version of that song I'd ever played in my life. Dave, the drummer, was insane. The bass player was killing it. I sang it like it was the best song. The entire album was that song. And I finished. I look at the freaking engineer and he goes, "Oh, you guys ready now?" And I go, "What do you mean, are you ready? Didn't you record that?" He goes, "No, I didn't. I wasn't ready when you started. I didn't." I said, "You're sitting there grinning, goofy grin at us through the freaking glass while we're killing this song. You didn't think to push record? You're the engineer, And he's like, "Oh no, I didn't." I was like, I was so pissed off. I couldn't believe it because the performance was so good. I just wanted to hear it again. It was going to be on the album. And so anyway, he's like, "Oh no, but we're good now. We're good now." Long story short, I recorded 11 songs that day. Wellen has them. Those 11 songs came out, literally, they flew out. Those are all first takes. There's one track that took more than one take. That was the Whisper song that I told you about. And Wellen knows there because he's listening to it. This song, it's track number, I want to say 9 or something like that. Maybe 10 on the album. That song was more than one take because we added, I added like a wah pedal, and we had an issue just getting the first 10 seconds together or something. So we did 2 takes, something like that. Everything else was a first take. So what Wellen hears there is a live studio recording of 11 of my songs. 11, or maybe it's 13. I don't even know what's on that album. Wellen, how many songs are on that album? I forget. Let me see if I have one around here somewhere. Hold on. I would actually be really funny if I could find one to show Wellen right now. Hold on. Let me see if I have one, guys. Give me a sec. right, so this is what I got here. This is not the same thing, unfortunately, but so I've got, this is my actual first studio album that I did by myself. It's Mark Pires, Something to Live For, and that's when you heard. This album is really, really awesome. There's 6 of the songs were used on MTV, on The Real World, and a bunch of other of their programs. Paris Hilton's The Simple Life 2. One of the songs was on, I'm sure, I forget which one it was. But this is a really awesome album. I've got hundreds of copies of this album. If anybody wants a copy of this album, and I owe some people albums, like Renee and Trish, I believe. So if there are people out there that I owe albums, please let me know, because I'm so scatterbrained with everything in this show at the time and everything that I don't even know where I am on things like that. But this is something I'm not sure if you ever saw, Wellen. This was an EP I made. I went back to the same studio about a year and a half later after that album you have there. And unless this is what you have, it's called Reservoir. There's 6 songs in this album. This is a EP. What a Day, I'm Gone, Rain, I Need to Be Alone, The Best, and The Last Song, which is the song anybody who ever loses someone should play that song at their funeral. I played it at my grandmother's funeral. I played it at a friend of mine's wake that I wrote it for in 1999, I think it was. I remember it's funny, I went to that and I said, look, I wrote a song for Brian, so our friend who passed away. And I wasn't very close to Brian. I hung out with him like for 2 weeks, I think. You know, one of my best friends was really good friends with him, so we hung out for a couple weeks. But we were cool with each other. And everybody's like, how could you write a song like that, you know, for someone you barely know? And I was like, you know, he's a young kid who passed away. Wrote the perfect song, you know, because he was an all-American wrestler. Like, this kid was like really, really one of a kind. So it was easy for me to write a song like that. The world lost something that day. And the lines in that song, the last song, are so powerful. And I know I gotta play it for you. This song right here, it's called The Last Song. Hopefully I remember all the lyrics. Just found out today that my friends passed away, leaving life at such an early age. I tremble at reality. Oh, freaking A, this is where I get caught up. Now I gotta go back a line and see if I can remember it. Oh, no way! Okay, Wellen got this. There's actually, okay, there's a 2-parter. This is so funny. So there were 2 different versions of this made. 4 songs and then 6 songs. Wow, Wellen, where were you when you found that? That is so interesting, because I didn't give out many copies of that. I'm curious to see, like, which part of somewhere in the Northeast it has to be, because nobody knows me outside of the Northeast. That's where all I ever toured, really. I toured across the country a little, but Wisconsin, middle of the country a little. But that was when I was working on that deal before I came back and kind of started to settle down. Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. It ended up in a small thrift store down by a condo we stay in. So freaking cool, man. That's pretty cool. So it got to Myrtle Beach. You know, I played in North Carolina, I think. I played at Elon College. That may be how it got down to you. I know I played at Elon College, and I sold a few of those while I was there. I played that at I want to say that was in early 2000s, 2004 maybe. I gotta get to the hook of this song though. You need to hear these lyrics. Resting sweet, resting peaceful and quiet in heaven's light. I gotta play it for you guys one day because I really don't remember the lyrics, or I have to find the lyrics. Which, speaking of, look at this. You want to see something cool? Like so crazy. Ooh, look, guys. Can you read what that says at the top here? Let's see if I can get this close enough. Medieval. That's how I spelled it at the time because I didn't know how to spell medieval when I wrote it. But I wrote a song right when 9/11 happened. And I wanted to get this to all the troops. And unfortunately, I couldn't get through to the army or anything. I don't know who the hell to speak to, but I was like, I wrote a song for the troops going to war for this country. And I just never got it anywhere. It reminds me of the song Christmas for My Country I wrote last year. It's about a soldier being deployed to war right when he finds out they're pregnant with their first child, or I think it was a story, something like that. It was created live in the moment. I actually had one of my friends from my softball team. He's like, look, I can't make the final game of the year. I'm like, where? He's like, because I'll be gone for a month. I'm going to, he mentioned where he's going. I was like, wow, that's cool. He's like, yeah, I'm being deployed, on the reserves. And I was like, wow, thank you for your service. And he goes, yeah, I'm supposed to get deployed next year. And I said, man, it's crazy, I got to tell you, but I wrote a song about, I'd love for you to listen to it because I wrote it for you. I wrote it for anybody who's protecting this country and gets that call on us to leave their family. And then he literally goes, yeah, and the worst part is we just found out that we're pregnant. I said, dude, that's literally what the song is about. I was like, please, you got to go listen to it. He's like, I'll send it. I have to actually send it to him. I want him to listen to it. But just listen to the first. I'm not going to play this whole thing, but check out how freaking sick this song is, okay? And tell me, if you were going to war, would this not want to be your war cry song? Like, I want to freaking go out there in a blaze of glory to this. I'm sick of old lines. You're really leaving no options. Forget about the times that we shared. Forget we ever begun. I wish it were that easy, but we're gonna get medieval. Chains and torture, always leaving room for a choice. Just fire and brimstone. Don't ever run away from your fate. Spell your voice to the youth of the nation. We are the few, we are the proud, we are the bravest. Our time will see. We'll face these trying times. Let's look alive, let's look alive. They may try and steal our pride. If they arrive, let's look alive. Let's look alive, yeah. We'll push them back in line, yeah. Before they steal our pride, yeah, yeah. If they arrive, we'll throw them back in line. There's a hook, if there's a bridge I can't find. Oh, that's it. Oh, this is a crazy fracas. Then I'll have something to keep them occupied for the meantime, while we find a way inside. Keep them occupied till the time's right. Oh, okay, now I'm remembering this. Man, this has been so crazy. The youth of the nation. Then they'll have something to keep them occupied for the meantime, while we find a way inside. Keep them occupied till the timing's right. Pop out for that big surprise. We're gonna get medieval chains and torture. Oh, we'll leave it room for a choice. Just fire and brimstone. Don't ever read my mind from your fate. Just belt your voice to the youth of the nation. We are the few, we are the proud, we are the bravest our time will see. We'll face these trying times. Let's look alive, let's look alive. They may try and steal our pride. If they arrive, let's look alive, yeah. If they arrive, let's look alive. We'll kick them back in line, yeah. This could be the ending for you and me. Oh, I'm beaten. This could be the ending for you and me. Oh, you're killing me. Yeah, you're killing me. We're gonna get medieval chains and torture. Always leave room for a choice. Just fire and brimstone. Don't ever run away from your fate. Just belt your voice to youth of the nation. The youth of the nation. The youth of the nation. That was a backwards pick throw. Oh, thank you so much. Isn't that song freaking crazy? I gotta record that. That's gonna go on an album. I mean, I never put it out. That never made its way onto an album. Guys, we have 50 more albums that I have to put out. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Forget about songs that we've recorded and created live in the moment after, over the last 3 years. I wrote freaking 125 songs you guys never heard either. Actually, with a pen. These songs, by all rights, should be better than anything I've ever created live in front of you because I took a pen out and I actually put my thoughts out in form where I could adjust and create and edit. And when you come up with something like, I'm sick of all the lying, you really leave me no options. Forget about all the terms that we shared. Forget we'd never begun. I wish it were that simple. We're going to get medieval. Chains and torture. Always leaving room for a choice. Just fire and brimstone. Don't ever run away from your fate. Just belt your voice to the youth of the nation. And then it gets even better. Then they'll have something to keep them occupied for the meantime. While we find a way inside, we'll keep them occupied till the timing's right. Pop out for that big surprise. We're gonna get medieval. Chains and torture, always leaving room for a choice. Just fire and brimstone. Don't dare run away from your fate. Just belt your voice to the youth of the nation. We are the few. We are the proud. We are the bravest our time will see. will face these trying times. Let's look alive. Let's look alive. They may try to steal our pride. If they arrive, let's look alive and throw them back in line. Medieval. Great song. Let's look alive and throw them back in line. Freaking love that song. Oh, goodness. So that's got to, I mean, like, there's 125 songs. Only 13 of them were put on an album. You know, essentially, it's like there's 110 other songs that were written with a pen you still have to hear that I have to make. We have to play them here nightly. Like, I'm going to do Medieval proper one day. Yeah. I'm going to get like a real sheet with the lyrics. I can read them again. And we're going to play it again. I was cleaning up, just going through things here. I got so much recorded from old school. Like when I was by myself traveling with my pedals. I mean, thousands of tapes, not just hundreds, thousands. Almost everything I've ever recorded, I have. Isn't that crazy? Almost every time I ever played, I recorded it audio or I had a video taken, you know? And it's all old school DV tapes and stuff, DAT tapes, mini disc. Remember those little mini disc tapes? I got like 1,000 of those. Just every show I played, I push record on that mini disc. I almost want to go back and listen to how bad I was. You know what I mean? Just be like, how terrible was I in 2000, you know, when I was playing that show at Skybox Cafe or whatever, you know, and like I thought I was playing well. Like, who knows? Like, we always think we're doing better than we really are. Sometimes, unless we're really critical and we're like, no, this is crap. But in general, I always could see the potential. Ooh, excuse me. I could always see the potential of when I was doing something, what I could hear it be, what I could hear it, the potential of it being, and then I was almost there, you know, like, okay, I can do this, but I can't add lead guitar. How do I do that? Okay, I got to just start freaking playing a lot of guitar. And now I never took any lessons, so I'm like, I'm playing what I feel. So and sometimes I'm really feeling it. I'm really, really zoned in, and then it's this freaking, the whole fretboard is just like playtime. Sometimes I'm missing notes because I don't know what freaking chords I play and what key I'm in. I never took lessons, so I just... Again, with the freaking camera, Joanne. So, when you write hundreds, probably 1,000 songs I've written at this point, maybe more, I don't know. They're not out there. Only 209 are out there. But if you go through all of my shows, if somebody was able to, or if I was able to get AI to go through every show I ever created and say, look, I want you to source how many songs I wrote, where at the end I threw a pick. I threw a pick at the end and I sang in it, and you hear a hook, and I want you to just, that's all you need to be is your like template. Go through and find anything I sang. There was a hook, some vocal looping, even if not just some singing and guitar playing, and we wrote a song. How many songs did I write? And they may all be crap, I don't know, but the point is, there's been a crap load of music being written right here on this platform, and then some of them are real gems where I took out a pen and I wrote them, like Medieval. And we got tons of really, really cool ones from back in the day. We're going to start going through them more and more. I told you, like, we did this last week. I played an original, and then we created a song, and then we did some comedy. That's probably what the show's going to be going forward. Like, I hope you guys like the format of the show, because the bottom line is it's one of two things. I either show up and I'm Where in the World is Mark Inspires, and I'm on a green screen and we're doing something comedy for 5 to 10 minutes. But right after that, I'm taking out that guitar and we're writing a song, or we're playing a song, or it's cover night. You know, so these are the things that happen here. Then sometimes after I finish playing, these moments happen. We just start talking about things, sharing some details from the past, whatever. Question comes up about an album that I did years and years ago, this album. But the four song version, I still have, this is still in the cellophane. So I wonder what songs, I think, if Welland's still here, I want to know what 4 songs are on the album, on the 4-song album. Because I have What a Day, I'm Gone, Rain, I Need to Be Alone, The Best, and the last song. The Best is like the best song ever. So I hope that's on that album that you have. Because it's literally ridiculous. The Best for You and Me, I played that for you guys here. I may play that version for you at some point. I'll get that onto my computer somehow. These these songs, because there was some really good ones there. I Need to Be Alone, I remember being very good. Some cool guitar playing in there that I did when I was first learning how to play lead. And I'm Gone is nuts. I'm Gone is totally nuts. So I'm pretty sure I put that one on there. Oh, okay, What a Day, I'm Gone, Rain, and I Need to Be Alone. Oh my goodness, well, and I didn't get the Best for You and Me on that album, do you? We need the best album. That's what we do every time. I'll tell you what, I really think this newest album I put out is like pretty solid. This Singularity album. I'm going to give you guys, this is free listening right here. Well, and I'm going to give this to you because you picked up the album. That was like my first, it's a little EP, but I want to share this with you. And I hope you will go and listen to this and see how far I've come along since then. This is called Singularity. It's my newest album. It's the 16th album I released. I can't believe I put out 16 albums. I'm really quite proud of myself, to be honest, guys. I don't know if that matters. This is the first song on the album. Tell me, this is how you start an album, right? Here's the link. You can listen for free, guys. Bass line, guitar, more guitar. Here comes the beat seat in a moment, as soon as I rip it up for a second. Intro's a little long, but I'll tell you, that beat seat sounds like a drum kit, doesn't it? It's just this.
Sunny days will come and go. The rain will fall. Bring everything back to life. Make everything grow. But don't you know, if you don't allow life to bloom, it will die. And don't you know, if you hold on to your truth, you will wither away. You will have to be free.
This is my favorite part here. Ready?
Let it be, let it be. So you must speak, you must sing, you must let it all out. Let it out, be free. You got to be free. Let it be, let it be. You got to be free. Let it be, let it be. Take out the trash. Leave it all behind. Don't.
Oh, goodness, guys. Listen to it at your leisure. Okay? 16 songs. There's 13 songs in the album, but I gave you 3 bonus tracks at the end of that. We, of course, have... I don't even want to share. You just go and listen, okay? Instrumental. 2 ridiculous songs. One's about never giving up. The other one is about going out at nightfall and bringing your shiv. You better have a shiv when you go out at nightfall. Just saying. Yeah. Guys, so listen. Tomorrow, 12 noon. Who's going to be there for the UFO files, from the hangar? Let me give you the link again. It should be pinned on the YouTube channel. If you guys have not seen that yet, this is it right here. Thank you for watching the little sneak peek of it earlier. And I'm so pumped you found one of my albums in a thrift shop. Even that means that somebody got rid of it. Freaking jerk, whoever the hell you are. But I'm so pumped to know it still exists and that you actually found it on the shelves. That's like unreal. That's so cool. And that you were able to determine that was me. It's really even cooler. So, pretty awesome. Yeah, I don't even know what's inside here. We'll open one of these up. 2002, yeah, my name's on the back, so maybe I probably did the same thing back then. It's Xander, my friend. Good to see you. Oh, dude, it's going to be so ridiculous. Joanne wheezes through the whole thing, She also toots. If you can catch where she toots. Let me say goodnight to you guys. Remember, we are here every single night after 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. And if you can, spread the word. Let people know to join us because we don't have a script. We create music, comedy.
What if you could do SEO smarter?
I'd be excited about doing SEO smarter. I have no idea how to do SEO at all, clearly. Yeah. How many days in a row, Joe? We're getting close to 2,000 days in a row? Probably. Here is the link, fam and friends. Again, make sure you go and join me tomorrow for it at noon. That's Eastern Standard Time. Andrea O'Neill, BDP Racing, my friend. Bradley Smith in the house. Derek Pardon's kicking it with me. I love it. Fishman. I'm pumped that Fishman's back. And Itchy-Ander doing it, right? Itchy-Ander, thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate them. Jim, my brother. And Leisure number 7 in the house. Guys, when you got a solar situation, make sure you give Jim a call. He'll take care of you. Leisure number 7, S. Coop. Trish Killian, Virginia, which is a great state, but a better person, you know? It's truth. Only Joanne, stop wheezing back there. I'm talking about the state of Virginia and an awesome family member named Virginia. It's a double-decker sandwich. We have liberty and freedom! Woo! Wharton Thistle and my brother Wellen. Guys, it's been an awesome show. I appreciate you. Remember, tomorrow, we do it all over again. Until then, noon. That is like 11 hours from now, guys. 11 hours from now, we're watching a UFO hangar crazy story with Joanne. Until then, fam, it's Mark Pires. And it's the Mark Inspire Show. That's Joanne. She's a Weezer. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.